Are female pastors unbiblical? Hey everybody, I'm Dan McClellan. I'm a scholar of the Bible and religion. And to say something is biblical or unbiblical is to assert that the Bible takes a single, unified, and consistent stance about a given issue. The problem is the Bible almost never does that because it is a large collection of texts written over the course of about 1,000 years by numerous different authors to numerous different audiences for numerous different reasons. And so it is internally inconsistent. It frequently is in direct conflict with itself. And so to get a concept of biblical or unbiblical out of the Bible actually requires we read it into the Bible. We negotiate with the Bible. We center and give priority to certain texts that say what we want, and then we marginalize and reinterpret or outright ignore those texts that say what we don't want. In other words, we are negotiating what we want into the text. So when people talk about things being biblical and unbiblical, they're really just trying to leverage the authority of the Bible to authorize what they want, which almost always has to do with structuring power, values, and boundaries in favor of their own identity politics. So what does the Bible say about female pastors? Absolutely nothing, because there's only one passage in all the Bible that mentions pastors as an office within a Christian congregation, and that's Ephesians 4:11, which is just listing a number of different positions within a Christian congregation, and pastors is one of them. So it has no qualifications for pastors. Now, people who want to argue that a female pastor is unbiblical will usually appeal to one or both of two different lines of argumentation. One is to appeal to qualifications listed for entirely different callings within the church. For instance, they'll talk about Titus 1 or 1 Timothy 3 that are explicitly about the office of an episkopos, an overseer or a bishop, and they will just read pastor into that without any cause. The other thing that they will do is try to argue that the passage in 1 Timothy 2 that says women cannot have authority over men obviously encapsulates all potential callings within a Christian congregation, including pastor. But it gets a little more complex if we take that line of argumentation, because that directly conflicts with Paul's statements elsewhere that folks like Phoebe were deacons and folks like Eunia were apostles. Those are clearly positions which would give those women authority over men. Why this inconsistency? Well, it's because the pastoral epistles, so 1st and 2nd Timothy and Titus, were not actually written by Paul. They weren't written until decades after his death by people just writing in Paul's name. And if you would like more data on that scholarly consensus, you can see my videos number McClellan 1161 and number McClellan 1335. And if you would like more data on why Romans 16:7 is a reference to a female apostle, you can see my video number McClellan 1680. So in order to make the case that female pastors are unbiblical, one must center and give priority to a forged Pauline epistle and marginalize, reinterpret, or outright ignore authentic Pauline epistles, which makes abundantly clear that people who insist that female pastors are unbiblical are reading their own dogmas into the text because they want to leverage the authority of the Bible in defense of their identity politics. And you just need to stop doing that.